Good morning, boys. Uh, I am Shubroto, your chemistry lecturer. Welcome to my online class. Today, we'll talk about chapter 11 Mineral Resources Fossils. Uh, you already get some lectures of this chapter. Now, we discuss about naming of alkane. Uh, First, we write some points about this topic. Uh, let's start at our class. For naming of alkane, we have to memorize these 3 points which are writing in my note khata. First, we have to find the long chain of hydrocarbon. That means if we write an example CH2, 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 CH, CH2, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. That means we have to find the long chain. Long chain means which one is the long chain of this hydrocarbon. This one is the long chain, but it is not the long chain of hydrocarbon. That means we have to find out the long chain of hydrocarbon. Okay, then we have to find the side chain of the hydrocarbon. Here it is the side chain of this compound. Okay, in alkane, naming is completed by adding with n and ending words formula. That means we have to find how many carbon are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That means it's octane. Octane, ANEN. So the name is octane. Okay, and we have to write the side chain from naming or numbering where it is come close from number 1 2 3 4. That means the name of that compound is 4 ethyl octane. Okay, then we discuss about the alkyl group. The single valence radicals formed after removing one hydrogen atom from the alkane is called an alkyl radical. Okay, that means when we write an formula methane, if we removing an hydrogen from that formula, that compound is called methyl. It is the radical methyl. Okay, removing one hydrogen, the radical is called alkyl radical. Okay, alkane, the formula is CnH twice n plus 2. If write it RH instead of CnH twice n plus 2, if we want to write it by using alkyl radical R equal to CnH twice n plus 1. Alkyl radical are named by omitting N and adding YL. That means in alkane we write N, but in alkyl we write YL. The last part of the name is alkane. From a hydrogen atom was removed, formation of alkyl radical. Okay, the ethyl radical CH3 CH2 omitting or removing one hydrogen from ethane, propyl radical CH3 CH2 CH2 from propane, butyl radical CH3 CH2 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 from butane, C4 H10, pentyl radical C5 H12. Okay, you have to memorize that the radical formula is alkyl radical formula is Cn H twice n plus 1. Okay, and the symbol is R. It is the symbol of alkyl radical. Now we discuss about preparation of alkane. some points of preparation of alkane are given here. From carbon dioxide, when carbon dioxide react with hydrogen in the presence of nickel radical at 250 degrees Celsius, it will produce methane and water. It is the first preparation of methane. Okay, then from alkene and alkyne, alkene have one double bond, minimum one double bond. When it reacts with hydrogen, it will produce in the presence of nickel catalyst, is the catalyst nickel catalyst, ethene plus hydrogen, and it will produce ethane in the presence of nickel catalyst at the temperature 180 to 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, you have to memorize this. Then when ethane react with hydrogen, two molecules of hydrogen at the presence of nickel catalyst, temperature 180 to 200 degrees Celsius, it will also produce ethane. That means when alkene react with hydrogen, it will produce alkane. Alkane react with two molecule hydrogen and it will produce alkane. Alkyne to alkane. Okay. From decarboxylation reaction, it's an important reaction for preparation of alkane. Decarboxylation reaction means carbon number of carbon is removed from the hydrocarbon for production of alkane. When ethanoic acid react with a base sodium hydroxide, it will produce a salt called sodium ethanoate and water. It's a neutralization reaction. When react with acid with base, it will produce salt and water. And this salt, when react with soda lime, the formula of soda lime is sodium hydroxide plus calcium oxide. The mixing of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide is called soda lime, and it will produce alkane plus sodium carbonate. The number of carbon here is 2 and the number of carbon is here is 1. That means one carbon is converted to carbonate molecule or carbonate radical. Okay, it's an important reaction or topic for your exam. Then we discuss about the properties of alkane. Physical properties. Physical properties means the boiling point, melting point, physical condition, and saturated hydrocarbon or alkane depends on carbon number of alkane. That means these are related to the number of carbon are present in alkane. The physical state, when the carbon number is 1 to 4 is gaseous and 5 to 15 is liquid, greater than 16 is solid. Okay, so a compound which have number of carbon greater than 5 is in liquid in state and less than 4 is gaseous in state. Okay, chemical properties or reaction with chlorine. When alkane react with halogen, the example of halogen is chlorine, at the presence of ultraviolet ray, it will produce alkyl chloride or alkyl halide compound. That means when react with methane react with chlorine, it will produce methyl chloride and HCl. This methyl chloride again react with chlorine, at the presence of ultraviolet ray, it will produce dichloromethane or methyl dichloride, and after reacting or removing hydrogen, it will produce methyl tetrachloride or tetrachloromethane. It's also an important reaction for your exam. Another reaction of alkane or hydrocarbon is when hydrocarbon or alkane react with oxygen, it will produce carbon dioxide and water and huge amount of heat or energy. That means methane react with oxygen, it will produce carbon dioxide and water. Now we discuss about the unsaturated carbon, hydrocarbon. The unsaturated hydrocarbon are those which have two or more than two bond or double bond, presence of double bond and triple bond are unsaturated hydrocarbons, alkane and alkynes. Alkene and alkyne. Alkene, the biocompound which have at least one carbon-carbon double bond in its carbon chain is called alkene. Generally, the formula of alkene is CnH2n. It is sometimes called olefin, produce oily substance in reaction with halogen. Some example of alkene are given: ethene, CH2 CH2, the chemical formula is C2H4, propene, CH3 CH CH2 C3H6, butene, CH3 CH2 CH CH3 C4H8. Now we discuss about the preparation of alkene from ethyl chloride. When ethyl chloride react with sodium hydroxide at higher temperature, it will produce ethene, sodium chloride and water. Then the second reaction is preparation of alkene from ethanol react with sulfuric acid. When ethanol react with sulfuric acid at temperature 160 to 170 degrees Celsius, it will produce ethene. That means CH3 CH2 OH react with sulfuric acid at temperature 160 to 170 degrees Celsius and it will produce CH2 double bond CH2. Plus sulfuric acid into 2 H2O. Now we discuss about the chemical properties of alkene. Addition of hydrogen. You already know that when hydrogen is added with alkene, it will produce alkane. In the presence of nickel catalyst 180 degrees Celsius, it will produce alkane, ethane. Addition of water. When water is added with alkene, it will produce alcohol. That means this hydrogen is converted to HOH. Hydrogen is added with this carbon and hydroxide is added with this carbon and it will produce CH3CH2OH. Okay. Please write the notes on your note khata and show it to through my comment box or inbox and memorize this lecture very carefully. Read the book very carefully. Thank you.